YouTubers, welcome back to AZ2 Ozarks. Well, last night was a cold night. We have a winter storm coming in, and you may hear in the background now, it has begun hailing. We are inside our barn. Last night, this little sweetheart was born. She was early. She was premature, about a week and a half, and she was born about 2:30 in the morning. And Rick had gotten up to put wood on the fire, and when he did that, he checked the weather, saw it was only 10 degrees, and figured he better go check on Boss Cow, which is the mama, and because she had been showing lots of signs that she was getting ready to calve any minute. Her udders were engorged, and we call it saggy pants. Her backside was real floppy, and so Rick went and checked on her, and she had just had the calf. Boss Cow hadn't even stood up yet to begin cleaning her. So Rick came back in and got me because it was so cold. He was worried the little calf needed to be dried off. So we did go out and take towels, and at that point Boss Cow had stood up and was beginning to clean the little calf. But she was also cleaning up the afterbirth, so we felt like the calf wasn't getting dry fast enough. Rick took towels and dried her up a little bit. He kept checking her every half hour through the night and saw her at one time nurse. So he saw her nurse on one of the udders one time, but he was also worried she wasn't getting enough. So he took out a bottle of colostrum, and the calf was not very interested in having that. Well, we've kept an eye on her throughout the day, but at this point the weather is deteriorating, and she's very small. She's smaller than our livestock guardian, Sasha. You can hear in the background the guys are working on building a structure for her. But we have her in the barn in some hay right now, covered in towels. She looks like she's shivering a little bit. So we've got to take care of this little tiny girl. I've got a heat lamp on her now, and I'm trying to give her a bottle of colostrum. She doesn't seem to have it figured out just yet quite how to suckle, but if I hold her mouth in place, see, her tongue keeps going off to the side. I think she's gotten some. It feels like it's being sucked out of the bottle. While this looks like snow, it is not. It's actually an accumulation of hail. It hasn't snowed at all, but we have a little break in the weather. Let me get the muffle off my face. There we go. And Rick loaded the calf into the truck. We've had her in the barn for a few hours next to a heat lamp warming up. We got some colostrum in her via a bottle, and now he's driving her over. We're going to try and reunite her with the mama. Our neighbor came over, checked her out, thought she looked like she had good body condition and she was showing signs of a normal calf. He thought that she had probably eaten off of her mom earlier because she didn't look totally sucked in, and so he felt pretty good about it, and he wanted us to try and reunite mom and calf if there were a break in the weather, and right now there is. So it's not so cold that the calf can't survive out here, as long as she's getting milk from the mama to warm her up throughout the night. It is getting to be later afternoon, and I see Rick's holding her over there, trying to walk across the field holding the dog, so he just keeps pulling me. But ideally we want them back together, and really what our neighbors said, he's been doing this his whole life. He's lived there since he was 5 years old doing cattle farming, but he said that oftentimes the new heifer mamas, they will be so engorged that it hurts, so that's why they kind of kick the baby off. And so that's probably what's going on with the mama. She's just tender and sore, and the only way to relieve that is if the calf feeds off of her. So Rick just set her down over there, and I'm gonna hook the dog on a tree and try and get a little bit closer. All right. The little calf is next to her mama, boss cow. Oh, that's the wrong one. And she's kind of got shakes. That's like immature nervous system. There we go. Come on, bossy. That's good. She's trying. Since she's so young, she doesn't have the skills built in as well. And what Eddie told us is when they're born in the cold, sometimes their brain is kind of like half off, not quite all the way on. So they're not as good with their instincts when they're born in a real cold night, like this little calf was. She's trying though, she's just not quite grabbing on. Oh, there we go. She's locked on there. Hold on, little baby. So boss kind of knocked her off, but I saw milk squirting out, so that's a good sign. She's got a little milk mustache. Oh no, boss, come on. Let this little baby drink. And see, she's tender, you know, she's real sore. There's only one way to get past this. As soon as she latched on, she kicked her off. Come on, boss. Well, the calf's doing everything she's supposed to. She's following her mama around and she's trying her darndest. Well, she got a little bit of a drink from the mama. And Rick actually was able to milk Boss Cow a little bit into the bottle, so we can have that flavor combined with the artificial colostrum powder. And you can see that the little calf has perked up quite a bit. She's kind of getting spunky and bouncing around. So those are good signs. And Boss is, you know, calling her and being attentive. These are good signs. So I think we aren't going to have an issue long term with them bonding. We just need to get through the next couple days of really cold weather with this premature little calf here. Good morning. Look at that little calf bouncing and running around. And there's her mama Boss Cow and another calf that's a little bit older right behind her. Baby Fuzz back there. But yes, this little calf made it through the night. Rick had his alarm set all through the night to come out here and check on her, and she was doing great. And Boss Cow, which is arguably one of our best cows, is taking care of her, feeding her. And look at her, she doesn't have the twitchy muscles anymore. She's looking nice and plump and good. That makes me so happy. We didn't have any precipitation last night, so that was a huge relief. But the guys did build a little calving shed. You can see it over there. And they put it out. It was after dark, so I couldn't show you last night. And there's a bunch of hay in there. And this little calf was laying in there last night. And Boss Cow right here was laying outside of it. And all seems to be well. We made it through the hardest part for this little calf. Nature has a good way of doing things. I don't know if we needed to intervene, but you know, we get nervous and concerned, and it's not worth it to us to lose a calf. So I'm glad we brought her into the shop and warmed her up under the heat lamp for a couple hours, gave her some of the powdered colostrum to get her a good head start. And look at her, adorable as all get out. So I'm so happy that we have a happy ending to this story to share with you. And it will start, we have precipitation today. They're saying it could be that freezing rain, it might be some hail, it might be some snow, and then the storm passes later tonight. And we're on to hopefully warmer weather starting next week. Oh, look at her playing with that little baby Fuzz. How cute. Her mom's number is 911 and we called her the Fuzz. So she's baby Fuzz. And we're probably going to call her Boss Baby because her mama's boss. And she's Boss Cow because she's in charge of all of the other cattle. And she, even though we have a bull, Boss Cow is the one who's still in charge and tells all of the other cattle what they're gonna do and where they're going. This guy's looking really good. That one's Mr. B. So we're up to 9 calves now in our South Pole cattle herd. And you hear that noise that Boss Cow's making. That's kind of like her noise that she calls her little calf with. I'll show you the little calving shed that they made real quickly yesterday. So this is all... Hi there. Hi, Monk. What a good girl. Good morning. Good morning. So curious. So they milled this lumber off of trees from our farm. And it's not finished. They didn't have time, obviously, to paint it or stain the wood or do anything. It was just get this shelter out here so this baby would survive the night. Watch out, girl. And so here is the other side, and this is where she was able to be nice and warm and cozy through the night. I mean, obviously no heat source, but the big thing is keeping them dry, out of the weather, as well as their tummies full of milk. And then they can survive some pretty cold temperatures. And there she is over there. We have a bunch more. I think we have 11 more getting ready to calve anytime now. This one was so early, perhaps because of the weather change. I've heard that when there's a big drop or change in the pressure because the storm comes in, it can induce labor. And so this little calf was early, and we have several more to come. Maybe this is the last winter storm of the year. I sure am hoping. I'm ready to plant gardens and do all that kind of fun stuff, but I'm happy to report that this little calf is doing well. So thanks for watching, guys. If you liked this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to keep following our adventure.